So, Lars, I'll let you take this away.
Yeah, so
I'll just
this
let you.
I'm not going to spend a ton of time on it, but I think it was episode 20 or 21 of In the One Thing podcast, where you're going to end up getting on this guy's list and he's going to spam you. So just unsubscribe when you get the tools. But it was the one thing. So with a number one, the one thing.com/9 environments, where it was just a really good explanation of, and you can pull up the next slide and I'll kind of go through, and he really didn't go through this exactly, but this is what it is. You're basically a product of your environment. And so he used two examples. Obviously, your professional example is easy. If you have your email open or your phone and texts are coming through and you're just constantly distracted, that's the environment you're setting up for yourself. So you're not going to be productive. You're not going to be able to achieve a quarter of what you could achieve if you actually put your head down and do work. And so we measure productivity by a finished work product, right? So that's an easy one. Then he used the one of, two more. The one of health is when you have no willpower, right? When you worked a long day, you maybe something is falling apart where you're stressed, your kids are shitheads or whatever. Not that my kids are ever like that. They're always exactly as I publish them to be on Facebook. But it's in those moments where you're going to go to the pantry or to your freezer and you're going to eat stuff that isn't on plan, whatever your plan is. So that's another environment. How are you going to structure that environment where you're not going to make those poor decisions, where you're going to feel hungover from sugar the next day, or, have a drink at night, get that stuff out of your house if it's not serving you. The next one is an obvious one, which is why Real Estate B School exists, is your, what do you call it? Your network, right? The people that you surround yourself with, and are they feeding you or are they draining you? Are you around people that want the same things as you, or are you around people that are pulling you back? So I just thought it was really interesting. Financial, the same thing. And so there's and your relationships, are you around people that are, what does that environment look like for you? So I thought it was really interesting. Start with the podcast. I think it's that episode 20 or 21. Start with that. And then he calls you over to this other, let me just.
Are you looking on your podcast?
Yeah, I'm just on the podcast.
I didn't get the podcast listened to, but I was listening to something that he had in one of his emails, and it said about basically the physical environment. And he talked about your office, your home, your where you spend a lot of your time. And if it's in disarray, basically it's saying your life is in disarray and you cannot focus. So if you don't have your environment set up for success at work or at home, your mind and body are dealing with those energy properties, and you cannot move forward at a really great level.